Hello again, and welcome to another episode of Real Moms Podcast. Before we dive in, I have a quick favor to ask you. If you love what you hear today, take a second to hit that subscribe button, leave us a 5-star review, and share this episode with a friend who needs to hear it. Your support helps this podcast grow and helps us bring on more amazing guests who are here to inspire and empower you. So don't forget to tag us on social media when you're listening. I love seeing what's resonating with you. Today we have Carina Groombridge. She is a coach, mainly for women, but if you love what you hear today, again, follow her podcast, find her on Instagram, and I know she would love to help you take your business into another level. Hello, fellow mompreneurs. Welcome to the Real Moms Podcast, the go-to space for resilient entrepreneurs who are striving for abundant living. I'm your host, Shae Spitz, a mompreneur and a realtor here in Columbus, Nebraska. Are you a mom juggling the hustle of entrepreneurship, family life, and personal growth? Well, you're in the right place. On this podcast, we dive deep into the real, unfiltered stories of incredible women who are navigating the journey of mompreneurship. We'll celebrate the victories, share practical insights, and acknowledge that it's okay to face challenges along the way. Success isn't about the destination. It's about the journey and the growth we experience as we balance our careers and the chaos of family life. Whether you're a seasoned mompreneur or just starting on this exciting path, join me and our amazing guests as we explore what it truly means to be a resilient entrepreneur striving for abundant living. Get ready for real, raw, and remarkable conversations that will inspire and uplift you. Because here at the Real Moms Podcast, we believe in the power of community, authenticity, and the strength that comes from embracing the journey together. So grab your coffee, find a cozy spot, and let's dive into the world of mompreneurship. This is the Real Moms Podcast, where we celebrate the hustle, honor the struggle, and thrive as resilient entrepreneurs living abundantly. Welcome to another episode of Real Moms Podcast. I like to start every podcast off with a motivational quote, and today's quote is, "Whether you think you can or you think you can't, you are right." So today we have Carina Groombridge. She is a seasoned business and mindset coach, speaker and host of the You Are the Biggest Asset podcast. She's empowering women to break free from their own limits and scale their businesses to 6 figures and beyond. With over 6 years of experience, Carina specializes in helping her clients overcome the need to people please, put in place boundaries, scale their businesses, and create a lifestyle that balances success with family life. So literally, Carina, I feel like everything you just, like your bio is exactly what I am also trying to help with my Real Moms podcast as well. I feel like it's just like spot on.
Yes, we're very aligned.
Yeah. So let's take it back a little bit. What got you to, why did you want to pursue that? What were you doing before, and how did this all come to fruition?
Yeah, so that's an excellent question. As I was mentioning to you before, my background before my coaching life started is I have a degree in mechanical engineering, which is completely out of left field when you think of what coaching is. And I started my business, or I got into the whole business realm because I had kids, and specifically 3 kids very close in age. Yeah. And I looked to them and I was like, I want to tell you to do what you love and follow your passion. And I wasn't doing it myself. And I didn't I didn't know how to give them that example if I was not walking that path myself. So I was like, all right, I need to figure this out. So that was the start of this whole journey. And it really required me to shift my mindset to go from, I didn't know, like literally for decades, I didn't know what I was passionate about, what I loved. I just kept getting educated, kept going through the system. And that switch flipped when I was like, all right, I need to be able to show them. And I was like, I'm going to figure it out. I have no idea, but I'm going to figure it out.
Yeah, isn't that wild? You always encourage your kids, because at what point in time, I don't remember where I heard this, but like, at what point in time did we stop living our dreams and live our potential? As an adult, and we're encouraging kids, go do what you want, like all these things, and like the opportunities are endless. At what point in time did we, I guess, check into reality that we don't even attempt that ourselves? Like we tell ourselves or our kids at a young age, but then like when you get into high school, they encourage you to get good grades, go to college, and get a good job. Job, as it stands for just over broke. Like you're limited to what your income is. So whereas entrepreneurship, which yes, it's not for the weak. Entrepreneurship is not for the weak. It is a mental struggle. Yeah, it is a mind fuck. It is a constant battle. One day things can be going really great, and then like in the blink of an eye, everything turns. So it is not for the weak by any means, but your income is unlimited. Like your potential is unlimited. The opportunities are unlimited. And so going back to what you were doing prior, I was actually a case manager for mentally ill adults before I got into real estate. So completely different. Just because I went to school for it does not mean that is my path for forever, for the rest of my life.
Yes, I feel like that's such a good reminder. And to what you said before, the whole idea of like entrepreneurship is not for the weak, that whole concept is so much of what I teach my clients, because with entrepreneurship, there's such a roller coaster of emotions, of experiences that you're going to go through, non-negotiable. Yeah. And what I teach my clients is not how not to fail, but it's how to recover faster. Yes. And to be able to go through the tough shit, because it's coming and there will be more. But how are you going to be able to recover faster and bring yourself out of it? And I had one client that she called me one day and she's like, Carina, I just got a like $10,000 bill by somebody else's mistake, because she hired out and it was somebody else's mistake that got her this like crazy bill. And I didn't yell, I didn't scream, I was upset about it, but I went and I figured it out, and I was able to come back to my family after and like actually be present. I was able to continue working with my clients and be present for them. A year ago, I would have flipped my shit in like a basket case for at least a week and just been like angry. Yeah. And just that transformation for her was everything, because she was showing up like the CEO that she actually wanted to be and not just in reactive mode based on everything else going on around her.
Yeah, that is emotional intelligence. And I tell people, if there's anything that you can work on, is your emotional intelligence. For example, in situations like that, instead of freaking out, calling and going into panic mode, she was able to like, okay, let's figure this out, take a step. And that happens a lot in real estate. And as a real estate agent, I've had agents like freak out because something in the inspection report came up. The buyer really wants it, but this is going on. I was like, hey, put it in an addendum. Tell me what you guys are requesting and let's figure this out. Because if you go to your client and you're freaking out, you're
giving them the freak out.
I was like, hey, you know what? Let's just request this. Not a big deal. Let's see what the sellers say and we'll just go from there. And it ended up working out. But I see that a lot, is like the emotional intelligence that even real estate agents, but entrepreneurs in general, have a really hard time controlling their emotions. And like you said, not being reactive, but more responsive to a situation. And the more you go through, the easier it gets. Like as a new agent, I actually had a local real estate agent file a complaint against me. And honestly, I find it comical. This just happened like last week. And I find it so comical, and I take it as a compliment. Like, you have that much time to focus on me and what I'm doing, and to file a complaint, it's a long process. So I'm like, you really dedicated some time. And I have an agent onboarding with me. I said, in all reality, as a new agent, you'd go into full panic mode. You would freak out. And she's, oh my gosh, I probably wouldn't even want to do real estate anymore. Where I'm so experienced and I'm so used to other people watching what I do and trying to take me down, that I'm just like used to it at this time. I don't focus on what other people are doing. That I focus on what I'm doing, how I'm helping my clients, that of course I'm going to make mistakes, 100%. Was it a mistake? Absolutely. Could he have contacted me and say, hey, you put this verbiage in the remarks, like I would maybe suggest removing it? Great, I'd do that. I've had agents do that to me, and I respect them for it, because I make mistakes, not going to lie. And that's not going to be the last time. But yeah, it's more of let's respond to it and not react to it. I literally laughed when I got the email, and I have a whole game plan of what I'm going to be doing moving forward, because he's supposed to be our leader in our MLS, like bringing agents together. And then you're going to go out and do this. No, let's find a way for all of us to cooperate. So it's a whole thing. I'm going to reverse the script, and I'm going to present it to everybody and let everybody know about this complaint. And I have no shame in it.
Oh, that's so powerful.
Yeah, I'm going to throw it back at him, because he's such a bully that I'm done with you being a bully. I'm done with you trying to control other people, and I'm going to put it out there. It's public information, so I'm going to put it out there for all the agents and talk to them about cooperating and collaborating.
Ooh,
Yeah, I know my
Okay.
agents in my office, they're like, oh my gosh, I'm going to be eating popcorn during this. I'm like, it's fine. So I'm done. I'm not about people trying to bully other people. You can come to me, you can talk to me. But okay, so since you started the journey, how old are your kids?
They are 10, 8, 8, and 3.
Oh my goodness, wow. So actually our kids' ages are fairly similar. Ours are 10, 8, and 5, but I don't have twins. Well, I've always prayed for twins. Didn't get them, but so you started this journey really shortly after the 3 older ones. So how did
Yes.
that change the dynamic of your family life, but also your relationship with your husband?
Oh, that is such a good question. And I talk to my clients this a lot, the ones who are just starting out and launching, because I had all the hats. Like I literally had 3 children in diapers. It's a lot. And so to take on this other thing and start this business baby was a lot to manage. And one of the things that I did that really served me was I delegated out to my husband all food. And usually I was the one to cook and plan the meals and
Right.
prepare everything.
Yeah.
And I was like, look, I want to do this thing and I need to carve out time in order to do this in my schedule, because I was going back to work while with the kids being younger, so they were in daycare. I was at a full-time corporate job and starting this business.
Yeah.
And I delegated to him all food related things. And it took 3 to 4 months to really iron that out, because
Yeah.
he'd keep coming to me, what do you think about this? And what do you want to have for this? And I was like, that is your decision. I am relinquishing all preferences and everything. I'm like, you manage it. If we eat pasta for a week, we eat pasta for a week.
Right.
But I have time now to do my thing.
Yes.
And that was a huge shift in our family dynamic. And now my husband is the cook, the go-to.
Yes.
So I'm not complaining. He's
that
really
is-
owned that role.
Right.
But it took some time to get there and to get to that point.
And I want to acknowledge the fact that you knew what you needed to offload, because for me especially, I didn't know what I needed to offload. So I wasn't able to.
It took some time to figure out what could be transcended
Yes.
off. So that
And-
was
Yeah, that's huge. That's honestly huge. And having that communication and giving him full reins of it, and you keep pushing it back to him. I don't care. It took 3, 4 months, because there's a soft handoff and a hard handoff. Soft handoff,
Yes.
women, we still like to control things. So if you say, hey, I want you to take over food, but then you're criticizing or giving suggestions or advice and stuff, that's going to be a soft handoff. So he's going to constantly keep coming back to you like a dog. No, I'm sorry. Anybody listening, I didn't mean that. It's a joke. But a hard handoff is, no, I really need you to take over this. I don't care what we eat. I don't care. We'll figure it out. And so I'm assuming, does he work as well?
yes.
Okay, so was that a big transition for him? Was that hard for him? Obviously for a little while, but did he resist it?
I'm trying to think. I think there was just a lot of unfamiliarity in that. And if I go shopping now, food shopping at the grocery store, it takes me forever because
Yeah.
I don't do it all the time. I don't remember where all the things are and the most efficient way to do it. So
Yeah.
I can see when you don't do something all the time,
Right.
then you don't have that. Yeah, it's easy. It'll take me 2 seconds. And this is a big thing that I work on with my clients, because so often we're so good at the things that we do that it's hard to delegate them out, because when you give them to somebody else, it's slower. They have questions. It does it it's not done the way that you're going to do it. But I heard this quote, 80% done by somebody else is better than 100% of you
Yes.
doing it.
Yes, 100%.
And I'm like,
you go
yes,
through-
I will take that every time.
Yes, and you have to go through the growing pains, essentially, because it's I'm onboarding a VA. I have a VA that I just hired on to do my marketing and all of that stuff, and it's a little bit painful because it does take up more time. Now, it does help that I had a marketing lady who's phasing out essentially, but she's still going to overlook the VA, but her time is worth so much more than what I could pay the VA. But it's still a little bit of growing pains, because where before I could just text my current marketing lady and say, hey, can you do this? Where now I have to go into my Slack folder and I have to explain to her. So it's a little bit more of a process, but it is growing pains because it'll alleviate and save me money where I can leverage some of my other finances in different areas as well.
Yes. And I feel like you're able to do that because you're seeing further down the road of
Yes.
we will get to a point where you could maybe text her, or like it's easier for you, but you have to get through those growing pains initially in order to get to the other side
Yes.
where it's actually really beneficial.
But it's crazy because when I onboarded my current marketing lady before my VA, it was even a harder transition then because we're like, I don't know what you're gonna do. This is what I need help with. And over the last year and a half, she just kept taking on more and more roles. And so that was almost more of a painful struggle because we were learning exactly what that role looked like and delegating those things over to them where I don't even think about like I didn't even realize how much she did when we were starting to onboard this VA. I'm like, oh my gosh, I didn't realize that. Like, it's a lot. But yeah, I really like that your husband you were able to recognize what you needed help with. And because like for me and my husband, he does do most of the cooking. Now I order the groceries because we do everything through like Walmart app and we'll have it delivered. And so we share the same app. So I'll say, hey, go in there and add what you need. I'll add what I see that is needed as well for the kids and stuff. Then he'll add it, I order it, and then he's usually the one handling the food. I don't grocery shop. I don't go into those stores unless I absolutely need to, but I do not do that. Nope. Neither does he. So that's a huge another delegation that before it took an hour and a half to go grocery shopping every week. Oh, that sounds awful. It does. Oh my gosh. I could just add things to the cart over time. And
When you think about it, yeah.
yeah, and I'll still go in and get vegetables and fruit from the store because I like to pick those out myself. But everything else, online ordering, 100%.
Ooh.
Have you ever tried it? Have you ever tried it?
No, I don't know. We don't have Instacart here, so.
Do you have a Walmart?
Yeah, we have Walmart.
I was gonna say because yeah, it's fantastic. And we live out in the country, so they don't deliver to us there, but I'll have them delivered to my office because I'll figure it out, or I'll go pick it up if I need to. But I used to always go pick it up, and then they started delivering, and I'm like, I'm just gonna have them deliver it because why go sit there for an hour,
when you can save your time.
Yeah, yep. See, but it's a little bit of growing pains there too. So just throwing that out there for another way to delegate because it does make a big difference. It really does. Those little things can make a big difference. So yeah, where do you see your business going right now, and how do you get your information out there to cultivate leads and clients?
Yeah, you can find me on Instagram, and I also recently launched my podcast, You Are Your Biggest Asset. So those are the two places that I am hanging out right now. And for me, I predominantly work with my clients one-on-one, but I'm also going to be launching group soon, which I'm super excited for, and leaning more into public speaking. I've had some really amazing events lately, and now that's going to be my objective moving forward, is to do more and go international.
Oh my gosh, that's amazing. And so how do you get these connections? Like where somebody who's maybe just getting into and doing coaching, I don't understand the whole coaching world. I know with real estate, you got to cultivate your own leads, things like that. But how do you get out there and how do you get these clients to join you?
Do you mean for speaking gigs or do you mean for clients?
No, clients. Probably more so clients. Like where do clients find? I know you said Instagram, but is that really the only place people are finding you and then they're sending you a DM, or how does that work?
Yeah, I'm all over the place, which is good, which is what you want. I list on some directories. A lot of my clients will come from Instagram or email. Like I also have an email list that I go and use. So it's really, I find it's not the quantity of like how much you're showing up, but it's really how you're speaking to your audience. That's the thing that calls people in, not necessarily are you on every platform. Somebody was saying like, oh, you should be on TikTok or you should be on LinkedIn more. I have a LinkedIn account, but I'm not on it very often. But it's also, especially if you're starting out, like what can you actually manage? Don't be on 10 platforms half-ass.
100%.
Like, focus on one or two and leverage those.
And I love that you bring that up because we are so pressured into you got to be everywhere all at once, and it's so hard to manage. Like people don't realize how hard that is to manage all those, because typically you have a personal account, so like Facebook. You have a personal Facebook account, but then you have a business one, so you're managing them both. You have a TikTok account. I have an account, but I don't ever do anything on there. But there's another one, and then and if you have multiple businesses, like You're just spreading yourself so thin that I was actually meeting with a client yesterday, and he's got this business, he works full time, and he wants to do investing as well. And I said, if you're really focusing on growing your tree removal business, really focus on that to get that up and going, because he wants to hire employees. He doesn't have any right now. I said, you really need to focus on that before you're just diving into the real estate, because he wants to buy this property, he'll do the work for himself, they have kids. And I'm like, but do you have time for that? And he's like, no, not really. And I'm like, I want to help you with investing. I want to do all those things, and I'll guide you through it. But if your main focus is you have a full-time job, you have a wife, you have kids, and you have a tree business that you're trying to get up off the ground as well, I would focus on that until you can streamline. Because coming from somebody who spreads themselves so thin, or at least I used to more than I do now, you can go so much further focusing on that one thing and getting really good at it and becoming that professional. Then you can start delegating, or if it becomes easy, you move on to the next. But don't try to like get out there, LinkedIn, TikTok, Instagram, whatever else other apps are out there, because it's the shiny object syndrome. I think we're all guilty of that. I think all entrepreneurs and women are guilty of the shiny object syndrome, or squirrel. Oh, let's go over here. Let's try this. Oh, look at this. Do you get that?
I do, but then I know my own capacity and I squash it because like I have no desire to sort out TikTok or all of these other things. I'm like, oh, that'd be cool. And we're going to park it, revisit that.
Exactly. And that's my intention with my VA. So I'm getting her onboarded. It's going to take a month, 2 months, 3 months, get her onboarded with what she needs to do on a regular basis. And then my plan is to start adding in, okay, now I need you to edit these videos. Or if you come up with ideas to do a video, send it to me. Tell me what to record. I'll send it to you. You edit, post it. And then as she gets familiar with that, then, okay, let's expand that to maybe TikTok and Instagram and Facebook and all those things. I don't understand it. I'm not going to take the time to learn it. But that's why I hire somebody to have a better understanding of how that works. But that's my mentality, is let's get her onboarded, let's get that streamlined, add a little bit more into it rather than just trying to throw it all at her at once. Because if I had to handle all my own marketing and all the things that my lady was doing, no way.
It's a full-time job.
Yeah, absolutely. So do you delegate any of your current business with other people? Do you have a team?
Not a team that works specifically for. I contract out a lot of things.
Okay.
The podcast is the latest, like the newest thing that, thank God, otherwise I would not have a podcast.
Yeah, no, 100%.
Absolutely.
100%. Yeah. So because I don't realize how much I delegate until even just yesterday. I was at the eye doctor with my kids, and yay, 2 of them get to have glasses. I was like, oh my gosh. But anyway, the lady in there, she goes, so something about we have an Airbnb. It was a church that we converted into an Airbnb. And she brought that up. I didn't know who this lady was, but she obviously knew who I was. And said something about the cleaning. I said, oh no, I have somebody else doing that. She goes, oh, you do? She goes, oh, that makes so much more sense. Because she's, I don't know how you do it all. I'm like, I am not cleaning. No, I do not. I said, I was like, there's no way I would be able to go out and clean that. I said, have I had to do it? Absolutely. But no, that is the one thing that if I have 5 or 6 people who I've had clean. I have a main person, but if she can't, I'm reaching out to like these 5 or 6 people, and I will get desperate before I get there to clean. You know what I mean? So like, that popped into my head, like, holy moly, no, I do delegate so much more than what I even realized, but it's not always easy. But like you said, with your podcast, same with my podcast, I have producers who book the calls, do the editing. All I have to do is basically do a little bit of research, show up, do the recording, and then that's it. You know what I mean? I guess I have to.
And then it goes.
Yeah, and then it just happens. I don't know how it happens, but it just happens. So I always have a bigger vision. I just need other people to help me get there, because I am not an attention to detail person. I am not an analytical person.
Yeah, which is that's amazing to know for yourself, so that you know who you need to be hiring to complement your skill, right?
Yes.
Like you need to hire out the attention to detail people.
Yes.
So that you aren't the one needing to do that.
And it's going back to like, you need to know your strengths and weaknesses. It doesn't mean that you need to work on your weaknesses. It just means that you need to delegate those weaknesses. I'm not going to try to be an analytical person. I know I'm not. So it's interesting, like back in the day when I would fill out a resume, I'm like, oh, I'm such an analytical, detail-oriented person, because that's what everybody wanted. I remember doing that. And I'm like, I am not. Anybody who knows me knows I am so far from analytical and detail-oriented. I'm like, no, I can get you here, but I have these people in place to help get you there.
Like, I have a team to help me.
Yes,
Exactly.
very much, very much. Okay, so Karina, tell me, what is one piece of advice that you would give to either your younger self or somebody who's getting started into the real estate entrepreneurship world? Not real estate, I'm sorry, entrepreneurship world.
Yes. So one of there's so many things.
Right.
But
I know.
one thing that I learned specifically in my coaching business is you are not your thoughts. And the things that go through your head, it is not truth necessarily. Most of the time it is not.
Right.
And we don't need to treat it as such. Because sometimes, I don't know about you, but my brain can get pretty nasty.
Oh, very
Like,
yes.
so often, and it's not the truth. And for me, I need to keep bringing back to that point of, okay, but what is actually going to serve me here? What is going to support me here? Rather than just accepting the thoughts that are popping in my head.
And I heard a quote one time. It was 85% of the things that we think never actually happen, and only 3% of that 15% happen the way we envision it. And it's so true. Every
God,
time
so
something
true.
like that, it is so true because anytime something happens, my mind instantly goes to, oh, this going down like a rabbit hole, worst case scenario. And then you make that phone call and you're like, oh, that was easy. You know what I mean? Like, that was, oh, okay, that sounds good. Because 80%
Like,
of the things,
always easier than we think.
way easier. And you're gonna have those like one-offs where it's probably gonna go exactly the way you imagine it. But that is like once in a very blue moon. But yeah, this just happened not too long ago. I'm like, I don't want to make this phone call because this is gonna happen. They're gonna do this and this. And I made the phone call and I was like, wow, what the heck was I stressing about? I was like, that was a totally different conversation that I made up in my own mind. It is wild. So yes, you are not your thoughts. You are not the things that you think. Your mind and your brain is created to protect yourself. So it goes into fight or flight and survival mode. So it's going to create all these worst case scenarios. And it's interesting because my husband is very guilty of that. He's gotten so much better. But back when I was going to transition from my previous brokerage to where I'm at now, he was telling me all the things that could go wrong. He's like, this and this and this. And I went back and forth for 3-4 months. And I finally said, Adam, listen, I said, I'm doing this. And I don't need you to point out all the things that could go wrong. I just need you to have my back and support me and tell me like, hey, no matter what happens, I got you. And he's like, yeah. He's like, all right, I trust you and whatever. And it's been the best decision I ever made. So, and did the things that he said happen? Yeah, but I figured it out. I had to find my own photographer. I had to find my own admin. I had to find my own people. But it was a struggle those first 3-4 months, which is why I ended up creating this Real Moms thing, because I went through a mental breakdown shortly after that because I got very stressed out. But a setup or a setback is a setup for a comeback. And as you were going back to, like you were telling your clients that you it's not about what happens to you, it's how you handle it. You said that to your clients. And 100%. My coach said that to me when I went through my mental breakdown. He said, Shae, it's not about getting knocked down. It's how long you stay down. And I was like, okay, I got this.
Because you have control over that. Like, we don't have control over crazy things that will happen around us, but we have control over how we're going to respond. And that's why I have a business. This is why I love what I do, because I love empowering my clients to see that and to understand it and to really own it.
It is just such a game changer, because I remember like just bawling, and he said that and I'm like, okay, you're right, I got this. And you hear it all the time, get knocked down 7 times, get up 8, whatever. But it's so true. Like, you are not your problems, or you can't control the things that happen to you, but you can control like how you react to them or respond to them. Yeah. And so now tell me a little bit about who the women are that you coach. Obviously I want the listeners to hear this, and if they want to reach out to you, but who is your like avatar when it comes to your business? Is it just any and all entrepreneur women? Is it just women? Is it men and women? What does that look like?
Yeah, so my coaching doors are open to anyone, but I market, and I love working with female business owners who are service providers and who are really looking to go and scale their business. And a lot of the times that'll look like, I need to do everything and I can't do everything and I can't scale, and there's this like feeling of overwhelm and stress that comes along with it. That is my genius zone. That is what I can go and support you to overcome. And oftentimes my clients will come to me and be like, should I close my business? And then by the time we're done working together, that business is sorted, they're feeling amazing, and they've gone off and started something else because they're like, I have the capacity now. I can do it now because they're not feeling the stress and the overwhelm and having it keep them small.
Having to wear all the hats and stuff.
Yeah.
When you say service provider, what do you mean by that?
Yeah, that could mean massage therapist, bookkeeper, interior designer, real estate agent, like really anyone who's has a service that they're working with the public or other businesses.
Yeah, so you're just, and are you mainly focusing on like people who are growing their business, or is it somebody who's maybe already established? Is it a little bit of both?
Usually I find most people who are growing their business, like there's no end to that growth.
No, there, and I love that you say that. I love that you say that because so many people will look at somebody and say, oh my gosh, they're so successful, it must be easy. Okay, you're going to have roadblocks. I don't care how long. I was in the business for 5 years doing very well when I had my mental breakdown. My business was still thriving and doing great when I had my mental breakdown. And so no matter, and I know I'm probably going to have another one. I've never had one to that extent. It was horrible. I would never wish that upon my worst enemy. But I know I'm going to have roadblocks. I know I'm going to have hurdles. I know I'm going to have hard times. But if I'm not pushing myself beyond my capacity and beyond my limitations, I'm never going to know how far I can go and how many people I can help. So you're going to have setbacks. I promise. At the beginning, at the end, in the middle, and it never ends. I guess I shouldn't say at the end because it never ends, ideally.
Yeah, exactly. And usually what I find is once we figure out how you're better able to manage, better able to like hold the capacity for your current level, and you're like, oh, let's go further. Let's keep going. So there's really no cap on it.
Do you find people saying, can you just be happy? Like, why are you chasing? Like, why are you constantly going for the next thing? I hear family especially saying that to me is, aren't you just happy? No, I'm happy. I love where I'm at. But I have that mindset of, but what's more? I'm good with where I'm at. I love it, but I don't want to stay here forever. Like that would be awful. I'm 34. I don't want to get to 85, but that's what I did. I didn't go anywhere else beyond that.
I feel like I like to separate out happy from like your drive to
Right.
succeed and to grow, because I can be happy whether I'm dirt poor or I could be happy whether I'm a multi-millionaire. That part, it's not tied to the success. And this was something that I had to decouple for myself, but the continuing on with growth and the drive for more, to me, that's just fun. That's just like the next challenge to
Exciting.
go after, not the thing that makes you happy.
Yes. And honestly, so Ed Milet, I don't know if you know who he is or follow him, and I love Ed Milet. In one of his podcasts or something, he said that the most happy people in the world, truly happy people, are people who have a purpose. They have the next thing that they're chasing. Because if you wake up every day and you're just retired and you don't have a purpose to fulfill, or you're not going after something, like, to me that sounds pretty boring. But that was what Ed Milet said. Like, the happiest people, whether you are poor just starting out or you've been in business for years and years and years, the happiest people are those who are moving to the next level. They have a purpose, they have a target, and they have a goal. You hit that goal and then you set a new one, because it's fulfilling. Especially it is for me. If I don't have a goal in mind, what am I chasing? Like, what? I got kids, but that's just doing the mundane thing of day to day, getting up, serve your kids, and doing all the things. Like, I love them. I can't do that forever. I need to have a purpose in life in general.
Yeah. And I find in what I do, there's a lot of, we want to make sure that you're recognizing the accomplishments that you have, because in the striving for more, in the growth, we can, like, you have your goalposts, but then we keep moving the goalposts as we're like, as soon as you're close to getting your goal, you're already on to the next one.
Yeah.
And like, okay, and now we're doing this, and now we're going bigger. And I like to bring my clients back to, okay, absolutely, yes, let's keep going for the growth, and celebrate your wins. Tell me what you're celebrating. Tell me what you're proud of. Tell me what you're accomplishing, because otherwise it's like this kind of never-ending cycle where you're like, oh, it has to be more. It has to be more. And that's great, but we want to link it back to, and I feel really proud of what I've accomplished, of how far I've come, of what I've done. Because I find there can be a disconnect there if you're always striving for more, and then that can tie into the burnout and the stress, because you just don't feel like you're accomplishing.
And I like,
again, the goalpost always moves, right?
It does. And that is so important. I'm guilty of it too, is that I'm always chasing the next thing that I forget to celebrate the wins that I have accomplished. And even if it's for a short while, even if it means like you and your husband go out for a really nice steak dinner, I don't know, whatever it is. But it is, I think most entrepreneurs, especially women, are guilty of that. Like you forget to celebrate. When we got into real estate investing, we purchased a program, Fortune Builders, and one of their biggest acronyms was CAW, C-A-W, Celebrate All Wins. And I've never forgotten that. And I'm guilty of it. I'm not celebrating all wins. I forget to do that. But they pushed that so much. Caw. That sounds terrible. Oh my gosh, I should. Oh my God. Okay, that was horrible. But CAW, C-A-W, Celebrate All Wins. And you don't realize that. We were new, not even just getting started. And you look back and you're like, holy moly, yeah, that is so important to celebrate all wins. So, yeah, pretty amazing. Carina, you said that Instagram is your biggest platform where people can follow you at. What is your handle?
Yes, so you can find me at Carina Groombridge Coaching on Instagram. Same thing on Facebook. And definitely come and join me on my podcast, You Are Your Biggest Assets.
Yes, absolutely. And when you listen to her podcast, just like this one, make sure you leave a review because those 5-star reviews are so incredibly helpful. And then share it with a family or friend or share it on Facebook because that is what helps get these podcasts out to more people, and share it with somebody who you feel would benefit from this. If you know of somebody or you yourself are looking for a coach to help you take your business to another level and to be able to delegate, contact Carina. I know she would love to help you. Go to her podcast, leave her a review and share her podcast as well because it helps us so much more than you would even imagine. Those reviews, those subscriptions, all of it. Huge way to get this out to other people. Carina, I truly appreciate you being here, sharing your knowledge, sharing your expertise, and that you are like a real mom. So I appreciate it.
Thank you. Thank you so much for having me.
Yes, thanks, Carina. And that wraps up another inspiring episode of the Real Moms Podcast. A huge thank you to our incredible guests for sharing their story and insights today. If you found value in today's conversation, don't forget to hit that subscribe button so you never miss an episode. And hey, sharing is caring, right? Share this podcast with your fellow mompreneurs, friends, and anyone who you feel could use a dose of inspiration. Share it on your social media as well. But most importantly, if you found this episode helpful, please leave me a 5-star review. This helps get our information out to those who have never heard or seen us before. Are you feeling inspired and you're sure that you could add some value to the podcast? Shoot me a message and let's talk. We love hearing from you. So connect with us on social media. Tag me at Shae J Spitz, that's ShaeJSpitz, and share your thoughts and takeaways or even suggest topics you'd like to have us explore more in the future episodes. Remember, you're not alone on this journey. Your resilience is your strength and your pursuit of abundant living is truly remarkable. As always, keep thriving, keep growing, and keep embracing the beautiful chaos of being a mompreneur. Until next time, take care, stay real, and keep living abundantly.